YouTube, I'm back again with another video on why most men get stuck in their late 30s and don't even realize. Okay, now if you're in your late 30s and you feel tired, unmotivated, or quietly disappointed with where your life is at, there's probably nothing wrong with you at all. But there is something happening, and most men don't realize. They don't realize this until years later. Okay. In your late 30s, life usually doesn't fall apart in a dramatic way. It tightens. You're working, you're paying bills, you're being responsible. So from the outside, everything looks fine. But inside, something feels off. You feel capable of more, but you're not moving forward the way you thought you would. Not because you're lazy or not because you're broken, but because the life you're living no longer matches the man you're becoming. Alright? Now, most men think they're stuck because they lack motivation. That's not the real problem, I don't think. I think the real problem is the misalignment. Yeah, your responsibilities increase, but your identity doesn't evolve with them. You're still operating with the same habits, the same thinking, the same energy, even though life is demanding more from you. Yeah. Over time, that gap creates frustration. Not the explosive type of frustration, but the quiet frustration that festers away at you. This is where the quiet trap shows up. You tell yourself, I'll sort it out later. I'll do things once things settle down, or I just need more motivation. Those thoughts feel reasonable, but they slowly lock you into place. You stay comfortable enough to survive, but not aligned enough to grow. Comfort then becomes a cage. You're in this cage. So, in your 20s, you can drift and recover. And in your early 30s, you can experiment and still recover. But in your late 30s, man, time starts feeling heavier. You start doing the maths in your head. If nothing changes, where will I be at 45? Where will I be at 50? That feeling isn't panic though. It's awareness, and awareness is uncomfortable because it demands a response. And what I've realized is, most men don't need motivation. They need alignment. When your body is out of alignment, your energy drops. When your money is out of alignment, your anxiety increases. When your mind is out of alignment, you start to overthink, right? And when your identity is out of alignment, you just stall, you're stuck. And everything starts leaking energy, and no amount of motivation fixes a leaking system. I'm not talking about this from theory. I've been that reliable guy who still feels behind. The guy who's trained inconsistently, the guy who knew he could do more but wasn't. And that's why I'm rebuilding this deliberately. Not fast, not perfectly, but honestly. This channel here, I didn't create it to create hype. It's not about the hype. It's about realignment. And in the next videos, I'll break down the 4 areas that quietly control your life. The body, your mind, money, and your identity, and how to rebuild them step by step. So if this hits, then stay tuned.